Hi, this is Nick, and welcome to another chat about some new X-Wing content. It's been a while since we've just spoken about AMG putting out some information, and we just talk about it on the channel. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. How is everyone going out there? Let's take a look at some new information we got about the Rogue class Starfighter for the X-Wing miniature game. A new ship that's going to be on both the Confederacy and the Scum faction as well. We did actually have this ship spoiled a little while back. There was a leak, I think, via one of Asmodee's websites where they showed that they were releasing this, and we knew that we were getting 2 models in the pack, which is cool, but we didn't really have any information apart from it was on these factions, it's a small base ship, you know, whatever. But now we actually have a pilot card, so we can actually talk about something tangible about this ship. So we'll start off just having a quick chat about, you know, the ship itself, the frame, just with the caveat that we don't yet have the dial for it, so we don't have all of the information. Suffice to say, I think it's going to be a fairly good, reasonable dial. It's meant to be quite a small, nimble ship, so I'm expecting some ace-like stats. Indeed, the action bar sort of hints at that somewhat. The ship itself has 2 red dice, 2 green dice, 5 hull, and 2 shields. The action bar is focus to red boost, focus to red barrel roll, evade to red barrel roll, target lock, and red boost. And I did see the comment somewhere that it probably should just have a red barrel roll as well, but it might just not be able to fit more than 5 things on one line. I don't know. I don't think that really matters too much. But nonetheless, yeah, repositioning with tokens, always a powerful thing. No double repositioning, but given the fact that it has dead to rights, I think that does go up in power level somewhat. Even though there's no white repositioning, you know, repositioning full stop is fantastic. Dead to rights is an ability that we have previously seen in X-Wing on the Kimagila, a medium-based ship on the Scum faction. It reads, while you perform an attack, if the defenders in your bullseye arc, defense dice cannot be modified using green tokens, which is a powerful ability if you're able to get it working. Unfortunately, it doesn't really help you against Jedi using force tokens. But nullifying like a whole bunch of focus results, not letting your opponent use a focus token for that, not letting them use an evade token, is very, very potent and could sort of lead to some big blowouts. Having this on a ship with only 2 red dice primary seems to hurt, but we don't know what the upgrades on this are going to be, whether it's going to have some kind of munitions, a cannon, for example. This ability could work quite well with heavy laser cannon. We just don't know yet. I'm guessing in the next few pilot reveals we're probably going to get some hint of that, or maybe it'll come with a new cannon or something like that. Nevertheless, I like this ability more on a small base ship that's quite nimble, especially with that action bar. It just seems really, really potent, being able to token up and sort of barrel roll or boost to try and guarantee that bullseye shot. If it's flown alongside a ship that has coordinates, say like the new Gauntlet Fighter, for example, you can do the barrel roll or boost as a coordinated action, or do the target lock as a coordinated action, and then, you know, focus barrel roll or boost later on, and basically reposition with focus target lock, you know, really guarantee you get that ability working and you get a nice powerful attack off. It all seems very, very potent if you build it out correctly. And on top of all of that, we did get one of the pilots revealed. This is Cad Bane. This is going to be the most iconic character in this pack. So yeah, I don't know if that means that this is going to be the highest pilot skill pilot. I mean, Cad Bane, in terms of the lore we have surrounding him so far, doesn't necessarily indicate that he's the best pilot on this ship. He's certainly going to be the most iconic though, so maybe it will cap out at Initiative 4. Also bear in mind there'll be pilots on the Separatists as well, so maybe they'll get a higher Initiative 1 for what that's worth. After you perform an attack that hits, you may spend 2 charges to transfer one of your non-lock red or orange tokens to the defender. So for you newer players out there seeing how, you know, it's got 2 charges on the ship, you need to spend 2 charges and they recharge once per turn. Basically, it means you can't use this whole ability more than once every other turn. So basically, it means once every other turn, if you hit an opponent with one of your attacks, you can transfer one of your non-lock red tokens to them, which is very, very powerful. Especially on a ship that has red repositioning actions, especially considering how that combos with dead to rights, and you know, you do your red boost and turn it slightly to get your bullseye shot, take a stress, and then give it to your opponent. That's really, really good. I don't think I have to stress that enough. If you're able to build out a ship that consistently hits your opponent and gives them stress tokens, that's great. Yes, there are other combos you could be doing with this. You can use a Jakku Gunrunner to give Cad Bane tractor tokens and then give them to your opponent. That seems like a very dangerous thing to try and do, but then again, that can also mean that Cad Bane can have another way of repositioning early on and sort of line up dead to rights. Maybe a Jakku Gunrunner Cad Bane list is in the works for the Scum faction. I think that's a little bit janky, but nevertheless, it's something I probably want to try. I just love running Jakku Gunrunners. They're so derpy. They're good fun. But all that janky stuff aside, yeah, just, stressing up with your actions, giving them to your opponents, awesome. Good stuff. Really like the design on this card, and curious to see where this ship goes in the future. Just before we finish up this video, I think it's worth commenting on the way this is going to be released, because I'm noticing a lot of blowback from the fact that this is being released as a 2-ship pack, meaning that you have to buy 2 of these at once, unless, you buy this with a friend of yours that wants to play the opposing faction or whatever, and you just sort of split that way, which I think is a very good idea. If you are a Scum or Confederate player and you have a friend who plays the opposite, absolutely, I encourage people to do that. This is allegedly because the company wants to cut down on shipping. I've not seen the official source for this, so I'm not going to comment on that directly. Look, suffice to say right now, in the current climate the world's in, unless you're a massive, massive corporation, I don't really care if you have to do things to cut cost. I understand. This doesn't seem like a huge compromise. I just kind of wish it wasn't exactly the cost of 2 new small ships, if you compare it to more recent releases. I kind of feel like if we're in a situation where the company wants to cut down on shipping or whatever, you should get a bit of a bundle deal for buying 2 at once. That's my only minor criticism of this. It is a little bit pricey, but, I'm not the kind of person who's really best to comment on that kind of stuff. I don't run a manufacturing company myself. And honestly, if you are a player who feels that's too pricey, all I can say is that's cool. Like, you don't have to get it. No one's forcing you to. And I think it's a valid criticism and a valid reason not to if you genuinely feel in that way. I'm not having a go at anyone that said that. But nevertheless, I think at the very least, the fact that we're getting 2 different paint jobs is a positive thing. At least, we've got some value out of getting 2 of them. And it certainly seems like a ship that's worth flying 2 of them. And, if you were a player who wasn't necessarily going to fly 2 of them, hell, maybe this will encourage you to do that, and you might discover some more creative things. I just wanted to quickly mention that in this video as well. I genuinely don't feel that FFG and now AMG have done anything really blatantly anti-consumer. If they do, I will call it out. I'm not the kind of person to just let that stuff go. In any case, that's all for today's video. It's just a nice quick one. Actually, I might just quickly mention, for those of you still sticking around who want to know what's going on with the channel, just now that we're done with the X-Wing talk, I'm going to move house in the next couple of weeks. As a result, we're probably going to see even less videos in this place. There's a few gaps on the shelf. I've just sort of started to pack. It's a long process. I've had a lot of stuff to organize. My X-Wing collection has been in total disarray for the last few years. But the good news is I'm going to have a much larger working space as well. I'm so pumped to actually be able to get my big white table out again and do some on-the-table content. It's been a few moves since I've been able to do that. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm not going to do a whole heap more talking head content while I'm here in this house. Being in this particular property has been a massive stress for me. I've been here for 1 year with my partner. The landlord has maintained this place atrociously. The amount of issues with this house has just added to the stress, and it's been one of the factors that has sort of stopped me from making videos. I'm cramped in this little room here because other parts of the house just aren't functional. I don't want to go into it too much. Suffice to say, I'm going to have like a proper working shed where I can shoot my videos, actually have some more practical things in front of me and talk about more hobby stuff and that kind of thing. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have a link to the Patreon down in the description. You can also like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that the YouTube algorithm needs. If you could make sure you do that in all seriousness, it really does help the channel. The subscriber rate over the past month has really plateaued. We just need a bit more of a push there, so any help you guys can do is greatly, greatly appreciated. With all that out of the way, I'll catch you all in the next video.